Good morning, everyone. I'm going to give us like 2 more minutes to let anybody else who might be trying to jump on, jump on. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Thanks everybody for coming. Just some upfront information. This presentation is going to be recorded and will be posted to our website. And please hold any questions that you might have until the end. We want to make sure that we are being as transparent and fair as possible to any and all of the applicants. And so we'll get to the questions section a little bit later, but we will be asking that all of the questions get posted to our website so that we can also post those answers on the website so that everybody has access to all of the questions and answers that everyone might have. So please hold your questions to the end. And then just me, good morning, I'm Kevin Austin. I'm pretty new with housing and community development here at Salt Lake County. So this is my first go around with these applications for these lead-based paint certified contractor pools. So I'll do my best to help everybody along to apply, answer any questions. I might not have the answers right immediately, but I promise I will get them to you in an accurate and fast way. So thanks for coming. So quickly, our agenda, I'm really hoping to keep this to 30 minutes or less. There's a lot of information in this presentation, but we'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. And then all of the information that is included in this presentation is all straight from the RFAs that I'm guessing most of you have already looked at on our website, and so it can always be found there as well. But we'll go over the purpose for the RFA, estimated funding that's going to be available for it, minimum requirements for people to qualify, how the bid award process works, insurance requirements, application process, how the evaluation and scoring looks, and our process there, timeline, and then, like I mentioned, we will get to questions. So the purpose of this RFA is to find lead-based paint EPA certified contractors to provide remodeling services to privately owned or rental housing units to make them lead safe and conforming with EPA and HUD requirements. We'll go over the bid process a little bit later, but the county will establish a pool of contractors, and then those contractors will be asked to bid on projects, and just to and then Salt Lake County, obviously, we're going to be taking a comprehensive approach to these activities. Want to make sure that we're addressing all hazards at one time. Obviously, this is specifically for lead. Estimated funding for lead hazard controls, we're looking at just over $2.2 million, and those funds need to be obligated within over the next 48 months. So minimum requirements for to be considered as a contractor in this pool. We need to have lead abatement contractors that are registered with the State of Utah Air Quality Division, EPA certified, use certified lead abatement supervisors and workers, and comply with OSHA and RCRA regulations. You also need to be certified with Utah lead-based paint, and working for a Utah certified lead-based paint firm. Any contractor must have experience with paint stabilization and abatement procedures. They also need to be registered with the Utah State Division of Corporations and Commercial Code. If you aren't sure what that is, or if you aren't sure how to get there, here is the phone number that you can call and get more information, or you can go to their website at commerce.utah.gov. And then all contractors must provide a unique entity identifier. Those are obtained through sam.gov. This is, and then we have a little YouTube video attached that will help guide through that process to get the UEI. The scope of work. The scope of work here can be pretty broad. I've included a lot here. It's all in the RFA, but we will not go over it during this. I was just going to kind of hit some of the highlights. I did include it in this presentation, all of it in this presentation still, but that is just so you all can have access to it, not only just through the RFA, but when we get this presentation put on the website, and I believe we'll even email it out to anybody who wants it. You can have access to it there too. But generally, the scope of work, each housing unit will have a risk assessment that will be completed by a certified individual under a separate contract with the county, and they will identify the level of risk that exists in the house, whether it's painted surfaces, lead dust, or lead paint chips. From the risk assessment, a scope of work will be developed by the county and the contractors who are part of the contract pool, who will then be invited to bid on the individual projects. The county will provide funding to the homeowner, and then that homeowner will in turn sign a contract with the contractor to do the work. Obviously, the housing units will be made lead safe through the paint stabilization and abatement of housing components. And then paint stabilization and window replacements will be the most frequently used intervention, but only in rare instances of bad deterioration, substrates will component replaced, abatement be used on surfaces other than windows. And as you can see, there's a lot more that goes into the scope of work. We don't need to go over all of it. Like I said before, it's all included in the RFA that's posted on the website, as well as you'll be able to get access to it here when we send these out. So the bid award, each project will be bid according to the scope of work provided by the county based on the Healthy Homes Assessment. The lowest reasonable bid from the qualified general contractors pool will be selected. So we put in here the lowest reasonable bid because we aren't going to just go with the lowest bid. We want to make sure that the work that needs to be completed is completed in a good way. And so that's why we put in the most reasonable bid. So it's not always just the lowest bid that will be chosen for these. Insurance requirements. I'm guessing these are pretty much straightforward. There is workers' compensation and employers' liability insurance that's required by the state. Commercial general liability insurance with a minimum amount of $1 million per occurrence with a $2 million general policy aggregate, with Salt Lake County named as an additional insured. Professional liability insurance may be required depending on the type of services that are being provided. And then commercial automobile liability insurance that provides coverage in the minimum amount of $1 million per occurrence. So now we have those kind of out of the way. For anybody who's applied in previous cycles, we have changed our application process. It used to all be through Zoom grants. That is no longer the case. We have switched all of our applications to be going through Smart Sheets. And the best way to access that is to just go to our website. I have the website included on this presentation in multiple places so that you can try and find it. But really the whole point, visit our website. And then when you get to this site, you'll just scroll down to the links and resources section. This is where you'll see the RFAs, and we have 3 different RFAs out. So make sure you're looking at the correct one that you can provide the eligible services for. We also have under the resources, that's what's going to take you to the Smartsheet app, to the Smartsheet application. So as you have gone through and reviewed the RFAs, make sure that you meet the minimum requirements and that you can complete the work that is outlined in the scope of work, then make sure to choose the same application as you're going through. For this specific application, this is what it looks like. If you go to our website and click on the appropriate link, this is what's going to bring up for the lead-based paint contractor application. There's obviously a lot more to this. This is where the project narrative, the application narrative will be held. It's pretty straightforward. You can just scroll through, answer all the questions. Again, there are 3 applications. Make sure that you are applying for the correct application based on eligible activities. And again, here's our website, an easy way to get to the site to access this link to the application, to the Smartsheet applications. As far as the application questions go, there's really just 4 specific questions that need to be answered. Business history, how many years the business has been going, summary of qualifications and type of projects you've completed. Question 2 is experience in housing and rehabilitation. Really on this one, we want to know how many projects you've completed that were under $10,000, and please include project details with both of these, and how many of the projects that you've completed that are over $10,000. Question 3 is capacity of future work. And this is, we want to make sure that the pool of contractors that we have can actually have the capacity to do the work that we're hoping to do as we're serving households throughout Salt Lake County. And in these, please include in your response the number of rehabilitation jobs your business anticipates being able to complete within the next 24 months. What percentage of the work your staff will complete, and what percentage of the work you will be subcontracting out to other individuals or agencies. And then question 4 is around staff expertise. So we just need the name of staff, the current positions, years that they have been an expert in this field, and what type of expertise they are providing and bringing. So that's going to all be included in the Smartsheets. So you'll just be able to follow that through. Again, please go to our website to access that application. For this specific RFA, there are some required documents that we will need to complete your application, and these can be uploaded into Smartsheets. This process can be a little bit confusing, but there's a spot at the bottom of the Smartsheet applications where you will click upload, and then you will actually receive an email directly from Smartsheets, and then you will be able to, after you receive that email, it should come within about 5 minutes of the time that you click upload and submit on the application in Smartsheets. You will receive this email, and that will give you directions on how to upload these required attachments. Please, if you could use your naming conventions in a way that are easily to read and decipher so that we know exactly what we're looking at. Some of the required documents are, we just need a copy of the business license, copy of liability insurance, copy of the state of Utah's contractor license, workers' compensation insurance, EPA certification, pollution liability insurance, and verification of lead-based paint program certification for both firm and individuals working on the projects. So not only does the firm need to be lead-based paint program certified, but the people who are doing the actual work also need to have that certification. Along with that, there are these other three attachments that are included on the website: request for protected status, environmental compliance practices, an example of the agreement. The environmental compliance practice needs to be signed at the bottom. We did just notice yesterday that there is not a signature line, so please just go ahead and sign anywhere at the bottom of that document. For the request for protected status, you only need to complete this if there is, if it's applicable to you or your agency that you're working for. And in the example agreement, please just review, and if you're fine with it, that's great. If you have some suggested changes or some comments that you want to make, then you can submit that with the application too, but nothing really else has to happen with that document. So for evaluation and scoring, excellent will be out of 5, exceeds expectations with excellent probability of success. 4, or good, the applicant has a good probability of success and achieves all requirements reasonably. Acceptable will be ranked at a 3, which still has a reasonable possibility of success, but potentially falls short on some of the requirements. And then poor and unacceptable are when applicants fall short of expectations or just completely fail all the requirements. So the application evaluation, Salt Lake County staff will initially review all of the attachments and required documents to make sure that the applications are fully complete and eligible. And at that point, they will be evaluated by a selection committee. Any applicant must reach the average score of 3 or above to be accepted. 50% of the evaluation is on expertise, which is business history and experience in rehab projects, and the other half will be capacity for future work as well as staff expertise. So the timeline, this is very important. We'll go over on the next slide how to submit questions. Again, we are going to ask that they all go through the same place so that they're available for anybody who wants or needs to know them. But the last day to submit questions will be on March 6th, Wednesday, March 6th. Applications are due the following week in Smartsheets on Wednesday, March 13th. Please note that the date for the application that's due, we are asking that they all be submitted by 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you do not get your application submitted by 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 13th, the applications are going to be closed, and so you will not be able to apply. So that 3 p.m. deadline is really important. Here again is our link to the website, just so you have access to the RFAs and the applications. The committee meeting to go over the applications will be held on Tuesday, March 19th. And then we will have recommendations and anticipated notice to proceed will be out on Tuesday, March 26th. So for questions, this is probably one of the more tricky pieces. Again, we just want them all through the website so that we can make sure and have all of our questions and answers published for everybody to read. So you can go to the Smartsheet app form, or if you go to our website, it's in one of the links that's down near the bottom of the page. And I think that is it. Does anybody have any questions that they want to bring up now? I will stop sharing. Oh, there's a comment on this. So here's this question. Will previous contractor information be in Smartsheets, or will need to resubmit everything like a new contractor? Yes, there is not going to be anything saved in Smartsheets, so you will need to resubmit everything like this is your first time applying. Does anybody else have any other questions? I would suggest
No,
as you all, oh, sorry, go ahead, Robert.
I would just say nope, no questions over here.
Oh, cool, thank you. I will make a suggestion to start going through the applications sooner rather than later so that if questions do arise, we can get those answered in a way that neither you or us are scrambling to make sure that those applications get completed and submitted and within the timeline that is has been laid out. Um, yeah, but if nobody else has any other questions, I think that we're probably good to end. Going once.
I have a quick question. Um, in the application for business history and past performance, it was saying that they wanted to know the specific projects that we've done in the last 12 months. But since the last grant has ended, it's been probably about a year since we've bid projects under the lead program. So for the contractors that have been on the lead program previously, can we list all the projects we've done specifically for this program so you can see our experience, even though it's been more than 12 months?
Yes, I think that would be fine. As well as if you've done any other projects that haven't been funded through Salt Lake County or been in partnership with Salt Lake County, you can include those as well.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Anybody have anything else? Well, thank you everybody for attending our pre-application conference. And again, please submit any questions through the website and when things come up, and we will respond to those as quickly as we can as they come through. Thanks everybody. Have a good Monday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Wednesday.